Should we finish off with one last question?
Yeah, I only have one more question. So, and
Perfect.
actually, it's very related to how you just closed that,
Perfect.
because how do I cultivate a stronger connection and knowing when my higher self is speaking to me?
Well, your higher self is always speaking to you. It's always speaking to everybody, right? And I think the more consistently you're in alignment, the less you question. So questioning comes from, you know, kind of mental processing, right? So I've explained in the past how in the old paradigm we function mostly through, mind-based logic, right? And the next step up, is more processing things intuitively and using gut feelings along with mind-based logic. So kind of a combination of the two. The next step up from that, which is what I call being fully in the new paradigm, is really just being in alignment and just acting out of pure impulse. And in that place where you're acting out of just alignment and impulse, the questioning doesn't happen because you just get an impulse and you're like, oh, I've got the impulse to go shoot a video. I'm going to go do that. Oh, I've got an impulse to go paddleboarding. I'm going to go do that. Oh, I've got an impulse to call this friend. I'm going to do that. So from that place of really stable alignment, you're operating from more of a place of impulse than a place of, is this right? Is this wrong? Did it come from my inner being? Does this make sense up here? There's no more questioning. And that really creates so much more ease in your reality because you just trust and allow and flow and just follow impulses. It simplifies things so much.
Yeah.
Does that answer
And
your question?
so then it's about just like it's F it happy game all day.
Yeah, it's just being happy and saying, what's my next impulse? What's my next impulse, right? That's Bashar's, following your toolkit of highest excitement. I
Yeah.
prefer the word
Yes.
impulse over excitement because the word excitement is a little strong. Because if you've got an impulse to go take a nap, you know, a nap is never something that's exciting for most people. But if it's your highest impulse, then that's what you should be going to do.
How do you identify impulse versus like when something is sway? I don't like. How do you define impulse?
How do you define impulse? It's like just like a feeling, just like hey, this is what feels next. This was what feels like the best thing. Like when you get hungry. Oh, I got an impulse to go to the cupboard and and
Mm,
and grab a piece of pineapple. Right. So I think we're practicing impulses all the time. I just think that because we have, our conscious mind and our ego and our inner critic and all that stuff going on, we allow that to get in the way of these impulses. We doubt our impulses. Animals, they operate purely out of impulse. And the example I use is, when it's time for birds to migrate south, they don't have a phone they pull out of their pocket and check to see if it's the right date to go south, or a reminder that pops up on their phone to tell them to migrate. They just go when they get the impulse to go. Right. And I think
yeah.
animals that hunt, they just follow their impulses. Oh, it's time to go that way to go find some food.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a
That's those impulses come from their inner beings, and our inner beings feed us those same impulses all the time.
yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you so much for playing. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great questions, and we'll see you in the collective call next week.
Yeah. See you next week.
Awesome. Check you later.
Bye, Nick. Thank you.